Hello, we're the History Hikers. I am Dries.
And my name is Jente.
We are standing in front of the Château de Logne in the Belgian Ardennes. So give us some facts.
Some facts. Well, it has been inhabited very long. It was a garrison in the 5th century, but it was dependent on the abbey principality of Stavlo-Malmedy. And in the 9th century, when the Vikings attacked, the monks took their precious relics and stored them here for safekeeping.
There's maybe some treasure still left behind.
Ooh.
Let's go and check it out. Welcome, fellow castle lovers. We're taking another short break from northern France to explore a castle a little closer to home. The castle of Logne is located on a hill between the valleys of the rivers Ourthe and Lambré in the municipality of Verrières in the Belgian province of Liège. The hill has been a natural hiding place for people throughout the ages. It is riddled with caves which were incorporated into the castle design. This large moat was dug up to 12 meters deep into the rock. Later it became an integral part of the castle with the addition of stables and casemates.
During the Roman occupation of these lands, a garrison was stationed at this site, which lasted until the barbarian invasions of the 5th century. The history continues a couple of centuries later when the monks of the Abbey of Stavelot used the fortified site of Logne to bring the prized relics of Saint Remaclus to safety. This was during the 9th century when none, especially rich abbeys, were safe from the attacks of the Vikings.
The castle of Logne was part of the holdings of the Abbey of Stavelot, as attested in sources from the 11th century. It was located right in the middle of the abbey's lands and became its most important fortress. In 1138, the abbot Wiebald ordered the entire castle restored. A large donjon was built on the north side of the hill, and the town was founded at the base to supply the castle. This was when Logne was at its peak. This cave led from the large moat to the other side of the castle at the foot of the southwestern wall. It served as a hiding place or guard post during a siege.
This cave is known as the Cave of the Golden Goat. An interesting legend is connected to this place. Martha was the only child of an old knight, a dame of incredible beauty, and she had many suitors. But her heart was filled with love for a squire named Allard, who served at the castle of Logne. When Martha appeared at the castle of Logne to fulfill her marriage, the lord of Logne was entranced by her beauty, so that he sent Allard away to the castle of Poilvache. Martha fell in love with the lord's gold. She comforted herself with the loss of her fiancé by wearing expensive jewelry and fancy clothes, so much so that she became loathed by the people. Until one day her dead body was found in the cave. Since this event, from time to time, but especially on the eve of great festivities, one can see a goat covered with shining jewelry walking through the subterranean vaults. If one could grab her by the tail at the right time, she would, according to legend, be forced to point out the place where Martha's treasure is hidden. Maybe you can see the golden goat somewhere in the footage.
This is the casemate, which is perfect visibility over the moat. It's an addition made in the 16th century to accommodate gunpowder. The largest part of the casemate is actually located inside a cave.
Du har en annan nu. Vi kör vår helmet.
Yeah. Dries is a lot taller than medieval people, so he's struggling.
In 1427, the Abbey of Stavelot experienced a deep financial and spiritual crisis. To make up for their financial woes, they sold off the castle of Logne to the Lamarck family. They get involved in several wars between France and Burgundy and gain a bad reputation. Several of them were nicknamed Sangliers des Ardennes, which mean wild boars of the Ardennes. Outperforming the rest of the family, we have some family members who were branded with even better names, such as Robert le Diable, which is Robert the Devil, and Jeannot le Bâtard, or the Bastard. With Logne being in close proximity to Liège, the castle was the ideal base of operations for raids on the Prince Bishopric.
We now enter the upper courtyard, which was the main hub of the castle. The larger ruin on the left-hand side was the lord's residence. All we see today are the cellars. The door frame that led to the cellars has a beautiful capstone shaped like a chalice visible here. With the rise of gunpowder in the 15th century, the castle was remodeled to withstand the forces of new artillery. The entire castle was reimagined as a sort of modern fort, the works of which were completed at the end of the 15th century. Sadly, the castle only lasted a couple of years, because in 1521 it was captured after a brutal siege by the forces of Emperor Charles V. The defenders who weren't killed in the fighting were savagely hanged, and the castle was subsequently destroyed. Following centuries, the castle was abandoned and forgotten and, of course, used as a stone quarry, because who wouldn't want his home built out of castle stone?
As we cross the bridge over the moat, we enter the Barbican, which was the main entrance to the castle. It was also an addition made to accommodate gunpowder. It has walls of 11 meters thick and 2 gates. The tower we see here allowed for enfilading fire on the entranceway and was open at the back so that attackers couldn't hide when it was captured. As we make our way across the bridge, we can spy what used to be the older castle entrance, but was bricked up during remodeling.
Small thing.
Wee, this is a very small stairs.
Tight. Narrow.
Shitty hole.
It is very tight.
Tight squeeze.
It's like a voodoo strings. Click the code in the top right. Find out more.
Right now we are standing in what remains of the kitchens. We have a good view over the remains of the Lord's residence. Visible in the kitchen is the hearth of the fireplace and also the drain for a sink, which is the thing Jente is making strange hand movements at.
At the southeastern end of the castle we find a terrace of 13 meters wide, built to protect the courtyard from cannon fire. In front of it we see a protruding bulwark which could house artillery as well. Oh, and the views from up here are amazing if you hadn't noticed.
That was the Château de Logne in the
Verrières.
Ardennes, Verrières, in Dardenne. Yeah, it's time for the arbitrary subjective cost score. I'm gonna say 8.5. Yeah, it was quite good. Not really well known in Belgium. What do you think?
Yes, 8.5. I think that's a fair score. I think it was really cool with the caves underneath. That's an added feature not all castles have.
Yeah. We are the history hikers standing on top of the Château de Logne in the Ardennen in Belgium. Thank you for watching, Jente.
Like, comment, subscribe and all that good YouTube stuff if you have enjoyed watching this video. And if you have any questions, please drop them below.
We answer every comment. Thank you. Until next time.